What up, though, y'all? It's Chris. Appreciate you connecting with me. Post-workout, no steps at the moment. I got plenty more to get, though, so I don't know if I'm going to do any more vlogs for today when I get out there doing them, but I'm definitely going to get out there and do some more. I'm about halfway to my step goal today, but shout out to you guys, my subscribers. Thank you for riding along with me for the 5,000 grind. And if I sound a little bit out of breath, it's because that workout, man, I was in there putting in big old effort. And I think I might try to learn how to do a handstand. I seen some girl in there, man. She was doing some handstands. She was in excellent shape. Listen, man, shout out to you white girls out there, because boy, oh boy, y'all for real be in the gym taking that shit serious. Whenever, in my experience anyway, this is every gym I've been to in my life. Whenever I see a super fit woman, 9 times out of 10, actually 9.5 times out of 10, it's gonna be a white chick. It's very rare that I see a super fit black chick here at the gym. To where when it actually does happen, I like to do a double take because it's so uncommon. And I'm not saying that to be funny at all, but I mean, statistics are what they are. 80% of sisters qualify as obese and morbidly obese. And that may sound like a ridiculous statistic until you walk into your local gym and you look around and you see that any of the women that's in there that are in shape are non-black women. And if they in the gym and not in shape, they still non-black women. I don't even be seeing many women of color here in the gym that are out of shape and overweight that are even trying to. Even that's uncommon. But do with that info with y'all, man. I throw this information out there. There's gonna be some sister that's gonna comment on the video trying to make it seem like I'm dragging black women when I'm not. If we don't talk about stuff, we can't fix it. You know, saying that 80% of sisters are obese or morbidly obese, that's not dragging black women. It's a matter of record. So we really, as black folks, got to get out of the habit of being so sensitive when it comes to facing truths, you know, that make us a little uncomfortable. You know, the only way to fix this stuff is by facing it and doing something about it. Dancing around stuff does not make anything better. But let's get into the topic at hand, man. And I'm gonna be as gently as possible as I can talking about this because it's one of those sensitive ones. But it's the trophy wife who was talking about she married a monster. You know, I watched her video yesterday, and you know, I had a lot of feelings about the thing overall because it's very complicated. Let me just start off by saying that talking to people or talking about stuff can be very therapeutic. You know, especially with women. Women are taught to like open up and share stuff, which is the total opposite of men. We really are never granted that luxury of opening up because you already know men, we have to just die on whatever it is that's eating us. You especially can't open up to a woman. She gonna take whatever you tell her and fling it in your face at a later date. Very next argument, highly possible. But with that being said, I understand that it could be very therapeutic to talk about things, to open up about stuff, but not everything is meant to be on the internet. Certain things you just don't share on the internet. You just don't make public knowledge. I've noticed that women tend to really overshare online, like really overshare. Women will turn that camera on, you know, to set up their iPhone on a tripod or leaned up against whatever book and just get to really running their mouth about all their business for total strangers, anybody out there in the world to, you know, ingest. And that's just very strange to me. Someone that's a bit of a private person and really doesn't like messy public stuff. This is extremely strange to me, especially going public with something like this. You know, you're talking about your daughters. They were abused by your husband, who, to my understanding, based on what she was saying, her husband is not their biological father. So this is their stepfather, and that's part of the issue as well. But from what it seemed like, she met this guy on a dating app, which, some might see that is a red flag. Also, that, you met a guy on a dating app. Not to say that it's not possible to meet somebody good off of a dating app, but when you got kids, especially girls, you just got to move a certain way, man. You can't really put your kids in positions for some of this silly stuff. Stuff like that, just being reckless, going on a dating app to look for a man, that's a bit more, plausible when you're alone and you have no children. But you just got to really be careful when it comes to, who you select, about vetting people when there's children involved. And again, I say this especially girls. So you're essentially exposing your daughters. And that's the part that I don't like. I don't think that we have any business knowing this. I have no business knowing that her very young daughters have been abused by their stepfathers. That is not my business to know. That is crazy to me that I could just learn this about somebody. And the girls, they're very young, and they have no say in whether their business is out there or not. That's another reason why I don't like this whole telling about it publicly. You've put their business out there, and it's forever out there. So you be so consumed with putting out a video to get likes and attention and ad revenue, to where we don't really consider what the trickle-down effects of our actions can be. Is whatever ad revenue you're going to make off of this video worth the long-term effects that this could have on your daughters? Because they're forever embarrassed about this. It's one thing if they're older and they themselves choose to tell their story. My stepfather did this to me when I was younger and whatnot. But you made that decision for them. You put this business out there, and they have no say. And I really don't think that is right at all. I don't like that. There's nothing that anyone can say that will sell me on the idea that was in any way, shape, or form a good move to make. We, all of us at large here on YouTube, have no business knowing this about her girls. We really do not. So this guy was a quote unquote high value guy. She met the guy on the app or whatever. She ends up marrying him. She's now got kids with him. She just recently had a baby, which I'm assuming is by him. She was planning on making a video, kind of like doing more flexing about her lifestyle and whatnot. And instead the video is, instead of flexing about her lifestyle, she's now telling about how she married a monster. And this is just me assuming. I find it very hard to believe that there were no red flags here. Maybe there weren't. But I think a lot of times guys exude very bad behavior, and if they make enough money and buy enough, designer bags and stuff like that, the bad behavior will be overlooked or never mind or downplayed. Now, I'm not saying that she did that, but stuff like this does happen. So only she knows if this is something that has happened or not. Because this is her story that she's telling, so we only know what she's sharing with us. Another thing is, this is why I advocate for women to be very choosy about who they have children with and stay with that goddamn man. Because when you don't stay with the man, you leave that man, or you run that man out the house, or he was just a deadbeat, so you never really was with him to begin with. He was kind of 1 foot in the door and 1 foot out. When you move another man up in there, you're exposing your daughters to danger because the father, aka the protector, is not around. So I repeat, and I say this because I see this happen within my own community so much. Some of the women be so thirsty for a man that they don't mind exposing their children to some possible dangers of a pred. I don't want to say the full word because YouTube gets pretty sensitive at times when it comes to topics like this when you say the full word. Even Chris Hansen be having to sometimes bleep it out on his videos, and that dude is the one who made the word famous. So how crazy is that? But, just the whole situation is very unfortunate. My heart goes out to those girls because the whole situation they had no control over. They had no control over who their mom was dating. They had no say in who their mom exposed them to. They had no say in interacting with this man in any way, shape, or form. And ultimately, the mom, I guess unintentionally, but still, the mom is also victimizing them by taking their trauma and turning it into a monetized YouTube video. I don't like that shit, man. Like, really, I don't like that shit. As a parent myself, and as a guy who takes protecting your children very seriously, I don't like shit like that. I think it's disgusting for you to be a grown man and target children to begin with. I've always felt this way, and I've never been the victim of anything like that. Never have. So just full disclosure, I've never been the victim of anything like that. I just cannot stand people who pray from a position of trust. It's just something like really grimy about that just kind of gets under my skin, kind of grinds my gears a bit. When you pray from a position of trust, it's just really disgusting. Teachers, have been known to do that. Some of these Catholic priests have been known to do that. It's just something about that. It's just a special type of grimy to where it's like, can't fuck with you, man. You on some bullshit like that. So, we don't know what this man's motives were. All along, this man could have been moving closer to the mom, to marry her, to get closer to the daughters, which is very, that gives me chills just thinking about that, how disgusting that is. But we don't know, man. And as I said, oftentimes these women, they want a lifestyle so much, and I'm not saying that this is the case for her. It's just what we see. These women be wanting a particular lifestyle so much of, Gucci and Prada and trips to Tulum. They be wanting to be able to get on social media and flex so tough. Oh, I'm a trophy wife and I got a high value man. Be jealous of me, bitches. And that they overlook blatant red flags of bad behavior and just really bad character when it comes to these guys, because damn, exposing my kids to something terrible. What is it? Sprinkle, y'all. Sprinkle, y'all. That's what it's all about here. So, I'm trying to be as respectful and sensitive as I possibly can, because there are no winners here. It's all losers. But the biggest losers of all are, in my opinion, those girls, because this is what happened to them. And I honestly believe that they would choose to keep this private and not on YouTube. I really do. If they were older and mature enough to be able to talk to their mama, because they're at the age where they're going to do whatever mama wants. Mama don't have to consult with them in any way, shape, or form. Mama's going to do what she want to do. But if they were older and be like, Ma, how could you do this? Like, why would you even consider putting our business out there like that just for some ad revenue? I really do believe that they would rather their business not be out there. So I'm gonna leave it there, man. Some things, not all money is good money. Not all money is worth getting. I heard this phrase a long time ago. I can't remember exactly where I heard it from, but it's always stuck with me. And it's not what I'm gaining, it's what is it costing me. So you may be gaining this ad revenue for this video, but what is it costing you? I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.